Welcome to another Triathlon podcast, the podcast that brings the electrifying world of triathlons right into your headphones. Journey into captivating conversations, share the excitement of race recaps, enjoy the humor only a triathlete would understand, and join us as we debunk myths and bring you the bare, thrilling truths of the triathlon world. So feel your heart pound, breathe in anticipation, and get ready to dive into the world of triathlon. This is another Triathlon podcast. Enjoy the ride.
Welcome back. We're here with another Triathlon podcast brought to you by Experience. As always, joined by Josh and Fede, and we're going to jump into all the fun and odd and crazy stuff going on in triathlon at the moment and have some fun with it. We got a few race results. We got our What the F and social media posts of the week, and we will update you on what's in the world. So why don't we jump in and get started, and we will start off with you, Fede. How are things going in your world?
Hey guys, good to be back. A little bit of FOMO after watching everyone racing Indian Wells. Looked like a super fun race to be a part of, but unfortunately the adult life caught up to me and I couldn't escape work to make the trip to Indian Wells. But I'm happy. I'm happy because a lot of our athletes had a great time there and a bunch of PRs, and there were just a lot of mono endurance athletes over there. So very happy about that. And on my side, starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This VO2 type of block is starting to come to an end, and I'm gonna start building towards my first race of next year, which is going to be down under in New Zealand. I'm going to be racing Tauranga Half. It's a middle distance race.
Fun.
Going to see my coach over there and a few of my friends down there. So yeah, excited and going to start building towards that. I just bought a whole bunch of gels and electrolytes that I needed for this coming months. But yeah, what about you guys?
Yeah, what's going on with you, Josh?
So my training's the opposite of the VO2 max stuff. It's been mostly volume and build and just adding miles on both the swim, the bike, and the run. Unfortunately, the swim miles are a little harder to get sometimes. So when I got a half-hour ride each way and then the workout, so I get it done, get as much done as I can each time. But the bike and the bike and the run have come a long way in terms of just seeing how this volume work has really helped my endurance and the heart rate dropping and certain things that are going to really help when it gets to the VO2 max stuff, which is probably coming towards the end of the year. I'm getting my testing done in about a week and a half out in Arizona. So that's going to get everything locked in, get the bike fit locked in, and see what I can do to improve my run gait and things like that. But yeah, it was certainly fun watching my phone go off and off and off yesterday with all the people racing. And I mean, even outside of Mana, like every time I looked, it was like, oh, I have somebody else that I need to look up and add to my tracker too. It was everybody was there, which it was cool. It was really cool to see that big of a race end of the year and get the pros that were there and get the race level quality that was there. Once everyone got through the swim, it seems like everyone had a good time until it got warmer towards the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, why don't you remind the audience there kind of what you're doing with testing and stuff? Because I think that is so cool.
So if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, we had Parker Spencer on from the USA Project Podium group, and I am working with his coaching group and going out there to Arizona. I'm going to be doing a lot of lactate testing, and I mean anything you see that those USA athletes are getting, I've got access to out in Arizona. So it's going to be locking in not just my FTP. This is above and beyond that. What I can do for 20 minutes. This is going to be actually locking in where my body is and what I can handle zone wise and what thresholds we can train with and go from there, both on the bike and the run, and I'll also be getting some swim analysis and swim training and swim threshold testing as well. So really cool, really excited for it. It's just another level, and it all came about by having him on this podcast and following him. He launched his coaching group, and I was invited on to join as one of the first members. So really excited about that, and thankful for the opportunity. So I can't wait to report back and have some pictures and videos and all that stuff to share. I might be the social media post of the week.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, tell us all about it and what you did out there. Definitely be curious to see what you think of the different testing methods and kind of, what feedback you get.
Yeah, well, so we'll know by the time Oceanside comes around. I've got a 5:45 PR there, so we'll see how good this testing does in this training program.
Yeah, and you're saying you could probably take about 20 minutes off and transition to Oceanside, so that'll help you.
Yeah, so the one downfall of being part of the Athletic Brewing team is that you've got cameras following you left and right, and Ironman puts a team together of their cameramen that follow them to use for the next year's promo. So that video is probably coming out. You'll probably see me in some of the Oceanside promos coming up, but they do follow you like literally out of the swim into T1, and I think my transitions were around like 9-10 minutes. And it's a long transition area, but it shouldn't be that. So, all right, let's talk maybe 3-4 minutes, and now I'm talking 6 minutes in each area. So there's a lot I've learned again over the last year, coming up on a year. So there's a lot of spots I know I can cut some time down, and transitions easily one. We don't even have to talk about saving watts there.
Definitely. Yeah. Take all the free speed you can. And you know what? In transition, anytime you're not moving forward, you're just losing out of time. Even if you're easy spinning on the bike, you're still moving faster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the only difference with Oceanside is the potential for the swim to go in the ocean as opposed to the marina only.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I even think that might be a little bit of a better option. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. The training is there. I'm going to do that same half marathon a couple weeks before too. So I think 3 weeks out, March 17th, I'm going to be doing a half marathon that I set my PR at last year, and I'm going to go back to that. So I talked to my coach, and we locked that in. She said no 8K the day before, just the half marathon. So it's really cool to start planning for those rehearsal type events too, and really locking in the schedule. So starting to appreciate that long build now and all the work that goes into it. Like you said, the reward is the race day.
Absolutely.
How about you, Jenna? You've had a lot going on.
Yeah, less so on the training front. Oh, it's just, you guys brought up swimming, and I was thinking the last time I swam was Kona. I've been out of the water a little bit, and tonight I've got my first swim since then. So that's going to be pretty in any way, shape, or form. But
it's going to feel like you have paddles the whole time.
She's going to get all dizzy on the flip turns, I bet.
Okay, here's the thing. 10 years in triathlon, I do not flip turn. I do not. I hate that feeling. And I figure, you know what? Open water, I don't need it. So I am not a flip turner. So I look like a complete amateur. And several times I've told people that I should work on my swim before I attempt to do Ironman or triathlon, but that's okay. The bike and the run, I'll make up time there. But yeah, the last couple weeks since Phuket, it's basically been getting back into moving. I took it pretty easy the week afterwards and got some kind of bug for a little while, so backed everything down. And honestly, the last couple weeks, it's been, if I feel like doing the workout, I do it. If I don't, I don't. So just kind of in that mental, physical refresh, once I knew that I wasn't going to be making it over to Indian Wells, like, hey, just shut it down for a little bit, get some movement in. Although I did get something new that I'm geeking out on a little bit.
Breaking news.
Shocking. Something new to add. At least this is more than a week before race day, so we're moving in the right direction.
Pretty good.
But it's actually more on the training side. So I did that, the lactate testing? And, saw a Black Friday deal for a lactate meter, and it was the same price as going to do one more test to get my own. So I ended up getting a lactate meter and some stuff. Yeah. So going to play around with it a little bit. It's not going to be super regular in my training because those things, the strips are expensive, like, especially in Canada. So just going to do some kind of playing around with it, where what I really want to do is kind of dial in my paces and zones on my treadmill at home, because the paces felt very different on the Woodway treadmill where I did the testing compared to my treadmill here. And really, because I'm going to be spending the next 5 months mostly running indoors, the pace, the number doesn't matter. That pace number doesn't matter so much as it needs to be consistent.
Yep.
So whatever that pace is, as long as I can retest against a consistent number to see progress or not. So we'll see. I'll attempt to do some at-home lab testing. So far, it's been interesting. I tried one on a bike, and either I am super crazy efficient or I did something wrong at this point. But going to try to get that figured out to do it a little bit better. And yeah, just kind of see if I can dial in those paces and efforts on my treadmill and make some progress there, which I'm excited about.
I mean, Exhibit A, Lucy Charles Barkley. I mean, lock in your zones in your indoor training session and you're good to go. So I think you're on the right track and you know what you're looking for. So
yeah,
as long
totally.
as it's apples to apples, that's all that matters.
That's exactly it. The number doesn't matter. So hopefully that'll help me run faster for 15K with a 40K bike in the middle, faster than I've ever run a 5K, or the pace that I've ever run a 5K. So I need all the help I can get at this point. But yeah, it was, it kind of sucked. Life things got in the way. Couldn't head over to Indian Wells, but it was so good. Like I said, just see all the Mana team members out there. I had a few athletes. Shout out to Jillian, Josh, Andy, and Jonathan. They're all out there racing on course, rocking Team Mana. So it was just so great to see so many athletes out there, so many of our team out there hearing their experiences, and feels a little bit like you're there. Get a taste of that race weekend energy. But yeah, so we could jump into actually from there, Oceanside. There was a little bit of a race that happened, not only from all the age group triathletes and all of our friends and teammates, but Fede, I hear there was a pro race that went on.
Yeah, there was a pro race down in Indian Wells, and it was, it seemed like the Norwegian train is back on track. And we had the likes of Kasper Stornes, Bedle Thorn, not the other guy, Versten, the Mikael Eden, so Gustav's brother, and Lionel Sanders' coach. Well, I don't think he coaches Lionel anymore, but Rudy von Berg's coach. Yeah, it was a very, very dominant race from the Norwegians on the pro field and on the age group field. On the Mikael took the overall on the men's side, and on the pro field, Kasper Stornes took the win. 3:38.59. And on second place, crazy fast. He was out of sight, out of mind on the bike, and then just ran a 1:10.5 just to keep everybody off. And it seemed to me that he wasn't pushing too hard. Like the 1:10 for him was like just cruising, not a big deal. And I mean, yeah, when you have a guy like Mark Dubrick chasing you and you are comfortable, that means you biked your legs out. So that's amazing, an amazing race from Casper. So congratulations to him. And in third place, Sam Long, finishing in third place. He couldn't hold on to Casper on the swim, and the gap just kept the same throughout the whole race. Nothing major happened other than Casper was out of sight, out of mind from everyone from the get-go. And on the
did anyone say Casper Stornes?
I think somebody may have. Yes.
Out of nowhere, somebody heard the Norwegians were coming. So I saw a post to actually back up Fede's prediction even more. Mikael Eden actually posted, I had gone through his page and back a little bit. Whenever he goes to an Ironman, the Norwegians win. So if I had seen that, like they literally, every time he's there, they win.
Yeah.
And to be the coach of both winners and win yourself, that's a pretty magical
win. Yeah.
That's a good day out. complain there.
Yeah. I mean, Mikhail was a very good athlete of his own. He decided he was going to switch to coaching because he was honest with himself, and he was like, no, I don't think I have what it takes to go to the Olympics and be a top of the spear type of guy. But he is a very well athlete, and a lot of people. I mean, I think he can beat a couple of pros here and there, but I have a few numbers from Mikal on his Indian Wells race for us age groupers. He rode the 90Ks in 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 32 seconds with an average power of 302 watts. So yeah, he is. I mean, I don't know how heavy he is, but he must be like 75, 76-ish type of guy. Let's say 75. So like 4 watts per kg. that's that's yeah, that's moving.
And that's top 20 pro. I mean, I saw some numbers too, Fede, that was like these guys were pushing 315, 319, 4K plus. I mean, it's crazy the numbers they were pushing on that flatter type course. And then you start seeing some of the videos of the trend, like turnarounds and things like that. That wasn't a nice, easy surface either. It was pretty bumpy.
Oh no, yeah.
In the parts at least that we saw in video.
Absolutely, yeah. These boys were moving very quick. That's for sure. But yeah, that's like you said, Josh. Every time there is a Norwegian, it's that Norwegian is not alone. There's always one or two also racing, and they're also up there.
Yeah, especially on the bike.
Especially on the bike. Yeah. And Vetle, like he is an ITU, well, WTCS type of guy, and he's chasing the Olympics. And just to see that he was up there finishing fourth goes to show the amount of hours these guys put on training, because they are very vocal about it. They train a lot, and they say this is why they can cope with a lot of racing and even race well a 70.3 even when they're not fully adapted to the distance. I mean, yeah, congratulations to him as well.
That was awesome. Yeah, so definitely some great racing on the men's side of the race there.
Yeah, 100%. And on the girls' side, also Norwegian domination. We had Solvi Lopset taking the win, and second place Tamara Jewett, but also like the Norwegians do often, she was away on the bike, and it wasn't enough for Tamara to catch her. I mean, Tamara ran a 1:16 half, and that wasn't even enough to catch Solvi. So, I mean, this girl must have ridden super hard. 2:15 on the bike compared to the 2:21 of Tamara. So, yeah, she won the race on the bike. And on third place, Jackie Herring.
Awesome.
I get the podium. I just can't get the winner.
You're always like right there, but not quite.
I was, and even still, like I knew you could tell Jackson wasn't gonna make up the ground coming in the way Dubrick was running. But then it's like, all right, well, friends of the pod, and we're all kind of RTS fans here as well. And I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video of Dubrick's finish too, because he was out. He was bonked out as soon as he crossed that line. I don't even know if he could turn around to see if Sam was right behind him or not. And it was like, I think he got Sam by 15 seconds. So like he passed him pretty late, which, I mean, I think the split on Mark's finish leg was like sub 5 minute pace, which is for over a mile coming in, sub 5 minute pace. So ridiculous finish from him. I let him know. He sent me a smiley face. Best finisher in triathlon for sure. It's just he's got some work to do on the bike, and he's getting closer. I think he's starting to get some equipment and some sponsors and getting dialed in. So I think he's one to watch on the American side for sure.
He's definitely bridging the gap to the big bikers, and as long as he can keep his run the way it is right now, he's going to be forced to be reckoned with, because he has the legs to be up there. He has the swim, he has the run. I think he's just missing that top hand type of power when the big groups sort of attack and they separate from each other. As soon as he gets that, he is going to be winning 70.3s left and right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And it was interesting to see coming out of the swim. I don't know if he was like right in that front group. He was pretty close, but it definitely seemed there was 4 or 5 of them that got away in the swim, and then there was a decent gap. And right there's your race to get out on the bike.
Yeah.
If you're not in that front group. And I think he was able to attach himself for a little while until the Norwegians took off.
Absolutely. I mean, we're starting to see now that courses are playing a major role in these 70.3s, meaning that Indian Wells, it's a very fast and flat course. And these type of courses usually benefit the strong swim bikers because they can just get away with a quick swim and then push the bike, and they can, I'm not going to say jog the half marathon, but not push it too hard. And they're going to be able to win or at least be on the podium compared to those super hilly, technical, challenging bike courses where it's a bit of a more of an open race for everyone. The flat and fast courses play a bit in favor of the fast swimmers and strong bikers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it was definitely, it was almost like it was looking at the topography too. It was huge to get out early.
Yeah.
There was a lot of downhill, speedy sections before kind of an incline coming in. But for the most part, if you didn't hold on that downhill section, you weren't catching on the hills.
No. And I mean, hills in Indian Wells are like, I mean, like 3% probably tops. But yeah.
29 miles an hour versus 20.
Exactly.
Only.
But yeah, that was Indian Wells. We had another race on the southern hemisphere, Ironman Busselton, Western Australia. And I'm going to start with the girls because, the guys, I start with the guys in Indian Wells. We had Fenella Langridge taking the win in a 29:43. This girl is on fire. I mean, she races I like a lot how Fenella races. Just very excited, taking the bull by the horns, not afraid of making a move, pumping up the crowds. I really like the energy that she puts out. Second place, Lisa Norden from Sweden. And on third place, Lotte Wilms from the Netherlands. Very, very close race from Fenella and Lisa, just 3 minutes from each other. And then Lotte was 11 minutes of Lisa. So, the race was very exciting on the girls' side. A bit more exciting than on the men's because we had a complete domination from the Dane Daniel Beckigo. 7:34.23 new course record, and he looked like he could have run another 10 miles because he was just running on excitement and dopamine. He looked so strong throughout the race, and holding off guys like Matt Burton and Nick Thompson, Steve McKenna. Kudos to Daniel, and what a way to end the season with a Kona slot and a course record.
Absolutely. Definitely can't argue there. It was a good way to go about it. But you know what? I'm kind of surprised with a lot of these pros kind of racing an Ironman this late in the year. I could see, obviously you want to get that Kona qualification and the World Championships qualification, but for these not top tier pros, I would think they'd save themselves for some more early season 70.3s and Ironmans with the new Ironman Pro ranking coming in. I don't know. They're pros, so they got lots of time to recover and get back into it, but I would think they would be more looking towards some hard hitouts earlier in the season to start gathering points for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely going to change the strategy. I think, I mean, even Lucy was interviewed recently and still doesn't know what she's going to do in terms of the races and the schedule. Like, I don't think anyone really has their race schedule set. And it seems a lot of them are still set on the PTO, but they don't know the PTO dates. So how do you set your schedule for Ironman? But so it's interesting. And I think that Kona slot is kind of become the priority if you don't know what other dates there are for the PTO. So get that locked in and then build around it. And you're still far enough away from Oceanside in Texas that you've got time. So I think that's probably the train of thought. And you've got a good chance of winning going to an event. There aren't a lot of top pros. So
No, fair enough. But with the PTO, it's interesting. They, I don't know, they're starting to look like they're in trouble there. They don't have, like, we thought they put out their dates late last year, and we're almost into the new year. They haven't put it out, and I've heard some rumors that they lost a significant percentage of their funding with one of their investors. So I don't like, you get these billionaires kind of pumping money into the sport because they love it, they're passionate about it, they're excited about it, but some of them are expecting some kind of return at the end of the day and using it as an investment. They didn't become super mega rich by just handing out money to people. And it's hard to see a path to that return from the PTO right now. I think, I'm curious to see how it goes. So I'm surprised that so many athletes are still kind of banking on the PTO rankings. I could totally see short course and middle distance specialists and stuff. But if you're into long distance, I would think you're just going after that Ironman bonus with the uncertainty with the PTO. I'm really curious to see if they pull it together.
I think a lot of it stems from the relationship and the partnership with World Triathlon. And they made that one announcement and World Triathlon's like, whoa, what are you doing? We didn't say you could do that yet. And it never been silence on new dates. So I think whatever happened there in the miscommunication or PTO jumping the gun certainly took away from whatever they had been working on or thought that they were close with. And then obviously all of the stuff that you're talking about financially, who knows where that's going to go. But I think some of it stems from the fact that they jumped the gun on the marketing and communications and release of that first date.
Well, that's just, for that one event. For the other ones, they're really just struggling to get locations to sign on, essentially. Yeah. They don't, that's why they need World Triathlon, is to help kind of put some of those things in place, because World Triathlon, they know how to do that. They're doing it not so great next year because they're losing a bunch of locations now too. But it's interesting to see. It just seems sometimes like the PTO is all over the place. They want to be the athlete organization, but they want to be a race director, but they want to be a media company. It's just, you can't do all those things very well at the same time and without a massive budget and a huge team. And if the funding's being cut, that gets a lot harder fast.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to hit on about Indian Wells too that we didn't get to was the secret relay participant in Mr. Lionel Sanders showing up in Indian Wells as an Uber biker. and you see them get out of the water, and I think they were in 40th place out of the water. Yeah. And Lionel got on the bike, and they had the lead by the time he was off. And I mean, he was throwing down 28, 29 miles an hour splits. And then you start comparing where he is on the course with some of the Mana athletes, and he went zooming by, and you don't know if they know it was him. And it's pretty cool. And then they got to the run, and his runner was Lara Gruden, Sam's fiance.
I mean, that's the relay team you want to be on. How bad do you feel for the swimmer, though? They're like...
And that was our first race back, and I mean, just really cool. And I think Colleen Quigley was there doing the race too. Some really cool dynamics in the relay event, and just fun to see that whole aspect of it. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that before. It was just, all of a sudden a pro jumps in the relay.
What?
So if you think you can win a relay, prepare your team correctly.
Right.
That's a hard one to go up against.
But I will say relays are fun. I've done one myself, and I was able to do the bike leg, and it's fun because I mean, if you have one person for each leg, it's full send, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did one years ago for Challenge Penticton, But it was, I think I might have told this story, but I did my first Ironman over in Sweden, went back to Scotland, got my M. tattoo, and 6 days after that Ironman, went and did the relay as the runner at Challenge Penticton.
Nice.
That was a painful run.
Jenna's being Christian Blumenfeld.
Yeah. Jenna Blumenfeld.
There we go. Although the start time is ideal. You just get to hang out all day, had a few coffees, lots of snacks.
The bike leg's great. The run leg's even better. Although the run leg, depending on the weather, can get a little rough if it gets hot.
Absolutely.
Well, it was definitely a fun weekend racing there. And before we do some predictions for next weekend, because we got Bahrain 70.3 coming up, why don't we talk about our social media post of the week? Tell us all about it, Josh. What do you see out there?
So this one's from a couple weeks ago, and it kind of rings true with everything we've talked about in terms of the Norwegians and their preparations and it coming through at the results of the races this weekend too. So I happened to check out Gustav because his brother had just won and his two athletes had won. So I was checking out Gustav's page and noticed they were in some different scenery, and he's hanging out with Christian and training over in Morocco right now. And he had put up a post a couple weeks ago, and it was Kenji Niner, Gustav, and Christian all with their arms around each other on their bikes up in the mountains in Morocco in the desert. And they wanted to know if he wanted to fuck, marry, or kill. Which one? And the responses are pretty funny. They're all over the place. And you get some other pros. Our buddy Chase McQueen said Kenji for all three. Nick Goldston said, I'll take whatever I can get. Gustav's a fun page to follow. And especially when you some of the Norwegian training methods and all of that, it's fun to watch what they're doing. He's just recently started getting back into training, and he's all systems go. And we all know Paris and 2024 is a big year for him. So we'll see what he can muster up. But it looks like he's all systems go right now and rearing up to go.
That's very good to see from Gustav, because I mean, like you said, Josh, he's a very fun page to follow, and he slowly is starting to. Not that we can know what happens in the mind of a person just because of their social media, but he's starting to see more of the Gustav that he portrays himself on social media. And that to me is a good sign, meaning that he is probably in the right headspace right now after everything that happened to him and his family. So I'm very happy to see that we're starting to see the jokester again, and he's back on the training horse. His brother's racing. Hopefully, because it's very good for the sport to have him around, and a character like that who is very good, a very good triathlete, but also takes himself very lightly and cracks a joke here and there. He's not Mr. Serious. So yeah, I just wanted to comment on that.
I like one of the comments on there. Better bike handling skills than Jonas. So if you guys aren't
poor Jonas.
They at the end of like the last stage of the Tour de France, they do a bunch of team pictures, and it's all kind of fun and games, drinking champagne and stuff. And that's where we learned that Jonas's biggest enemy in cycling is riding without his hands on the handlebar.
I feel him. I know his pain.
It was so funny. You see these pictures, he's a pro athlete, like best in the world there. And he's trying to do the team shot with their arms all around each other. And he's like almost falling down, almost tipping over. And you're like, what? Like, he's good at going fast up a hill.
Yeah.
But there's one, maybe kink in his armor there. No, that was funny to see. It definitely is good to see him back in a lighthearted place, having some fun with it. Looks like he's definitely gearing up, which is awesome. Want to see him do good things, not only with the Olympics coming up, but I really want to see what he does after the Olympics. Like, he is so much better with that Ironman distance and 70.3 distance, it'll be exciting to see what he does after the 2024 Olympics for sure.
Well, and he's back training with the top level pros too. So whenever you start to see that again, you know, all right, well, he's catching up to Christian at this point. And we all hear and we all say to other people that we have asking us questions about what you do in the sport, surround yourself with better athletes and get in the pool with faster swimmers, get on the bike with faster bikers, and same thing with the run. So it seems like he's having fun like he used to again, and he's doing it with the people that he needs to be around to come back to what we know.
Okay, so we've got the What the F segment, and that I knew I was going to talk about, but I remembered something else that's going on. So do we want the more lighthearted app announcement or the little bit more drama, controversial topic first? I'm going to do both of them because I got to talk about both of them, but
Let's
which one?
do the drama first.
Do the drama. Okay. Have you guys been following along? There's been some drama around Max Stapley. Have you guys heard anything about this with him, British Triathlon, at all?
Nope.
No. Okay. So he came on to the Talking Triathlon podcast and just really kind of nothing malicious, but started talking about kind of where short course triathlon is and some of their shortfallings and stuff, like things like the coverage isn't great. They don't have, they have the racing behind a paywall, which doesn't help anyone. And basically that you're at the mercy of your federation when you are doing short course racing, and the prize money is rough. But basically talking about how you're working for, like, you don't have a lot of opportunities to get sponsorships because they put a lot of limits on that and some of the pain points of World Triathlon and the whole Olympic system in there. And apparently that caught the attention of a few people when there was an article in, which one was it? On one of the online magazines there, they were talking about it. And then apparently Max got a call from World Triathlon basically saying like, hey, don't be talking about this stuff in public. Like this should not be something that you're putting out there, right? Which, when you have a federation like that, you have a power in the sport, and instead of saying, hey, these are some good points that are absolutely true and pain points that can be improved, and going back and saying, instead of let's work together, what are your ideas, how can we fix this, instead going just shut up, that's not a great look. But it gets even worse. He was just left off of the British Triathlon funding for 24, even though he was ranked higher than some other athletes that did get the British Federation funding. And now it's not completely like they didn't just say, well, we don't like that you're saying stuff, you're out. But he was just seconds off of the qualifying times, because they do some testing to see if they hit those times, where if you're in good standing and he's top 6 in the rankings, they would usually just be like, yeah, no, we'll give you the funding, so you're one of the top athletes. But it does look like, since he has been speaking out against the federations, that they were like, well, here's a good excuse to cut your funding. Good luck.
Wow.
So, a little bit of drama.
I was just reading some of it on Try 247. I mean, it's
That was it. Try 247. That's what I was looking for.
some of those quotes. You can imagine World Triathlon giving.
You know, it's sad to see though. Like these they are a power in the sport, and they have so much control in these athletes. They're giving everything to go to the Olympics. Yeah, just that response just rubs me the wrong way. It seems like they're a few dinosaurs in the World Triathlon world there. And from all of the reports that are coming out and just so much we're starting to hear more from the athletes, it seems like there's a lot more spent at the administration side of World Triathlon and a lot of the federations, opposed to athlete development, which is not great for our sport.
Mm-mm.
No, and the athlete development needs to lead to money in their bank accounts. Plain and simple. I mean, we're all after medals and Medal Monday and all of this stuff, but it gets to the point where this is your life, and for these guys it is. They need to be able to have a career path like we would all want in a 9-to-5 desk job. It doesn't seem like it's there, when the Olympics are included as well. And
it's crazy. Like I was sitting with him and Kate Waugh at, they were out at Laguna, Phuket trying stuff. They both won. And they made way more money at this race in Asia against not a like crazy competition than they would ever make in one of the world triathlon races against the best in the world. Like that's shameful.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of his quotes and stuff stems from. He's like, these guys are doing PTO and other races and making a ton of money, but if I want to go to the Olympics, I got to do World Triathlon, and I'm making like what we made in 2013.
Yeah. I don't know. Cost of living might have gone up slightly since then.
None at all.
Yeah, it sucks to see, and especially when there is no real avenue for them to speak out against it or have their input. And when they do try to speak out against it, to actually get a call kind of slapping your wrist saying, hey, no, don't air the dirty laundry. That's really not great to see.
Yeah. Whew.
Well, I do have to agree with them, though, that the racing is behind a paywall is silly.
Yeah.
They could definitely make a lot more money through sponsorships and putting it out there and help grow the sport instead of, the $15 or whatever an hour, which I signed up for that like 5 years ago. And the credit card that I signed up for it with expired like 4 years ago. It just, your billing will be updated in 752 days. Okay. So it's obviously not working or bringing in money great that way either.
So, I mean, has anyone ever gotten, because this is interesting, I just finished doing a survey. I don't do a lot of them, but if it catches my eye, I'll do one every once in a while. I've been in the customer service industry, so I appreciate doing them sometimes. I had filled out a pretty extensive survey that the USA Triathlon had sent out. And I think it's for the next like 5 or 6 days that they're doing it. And it was, I mean, your expenses and what you're spending money on and what organizations do you belong to? How many races do you do a year? And a lot of deep dive questions on why you choose the races and the sports and the things that you do. And in that type of surveying is being done for a reason. And they want to better the sport for age groupers all the way through to professionals. And I would understand it would be nice if somebody like the World Triathlon did that. I mean, they've got the capabilities to do a survey, or it's the customer service that needs to be done. And how do you make the pros happy? I mean, you got to have more money for them, and the more age groupers. So there's no getting away from age groupers coming to races. I think we all know that too. It's been done. So there's the money and how much money is being spent. But I actually appreciated that. I caught that in my like promotions folder and filled out that survey. But I thought it was interesting for the industry as a whole that the USA Triathlon is trying to dig a little deeper into why people are doing what they're doing.
I hate to burst that bubble a little bit, but the reason they're doing that more is less so trying to get the athlete experience information, but more so trying to get how much money you're spending on the sport and races and tourism and stuff so that they can pitch it to sponsors.
Absolutely. No, there's definitely a part like that. How much do I actually calculate this number? How much?
That's probably why World Triathlon doesn't do it either, because they've got a funny setup where IOC, because they are an Olympic sport, gives them a lot of funding in there, so they don't really have to care as much, which is unfortunate. Maybe that would be a case that would help things, where they are actually more accountable to hitting targets and growing the sport and growing the reach and all of that. Maybe that would help having some impact, whether they do or not.
No, good point.
But okay, so let's go to the more lighthearted one here. There was a big announcement that actually Josh brought to my attention here, and I haven't played with it yet, but looks like Strava is adding a DM feature, so a direct message feature where you can interact with other riders who are on the app and send them messages. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think this is good, bad, don't care? Where are you at?
You're going to have a lot of people with their settings very quickly.
Yeah.
And shutting it down if they don't want to. So I think the features are there for you to block people from DMing you if you don't want to. I think the three options are anyone who you follow, anyone that you follow and they follow you back, and then it's nobody at all.
Yeah.
Are the three options that you can choose from. So the mutual following is probably going to be one of the top choices, and then it will be nobody, and then it'll probably be everyone you follow.
Yeah, fair enough. What do you think, Fede? What are your thoughts on
I
this?
mean, I'm not gonna use it. I don't see myself DMing people on Strava, but I can see now that a lot of like pro cyclists or a lot of pro athletes, like Josh mentioned, are gonna get bombarded with messages and I don't know. I mean, why add another way to communicate with each other when we have already a gazillion ways? Just let us be quiet and not speak to each other. Being a little antisocial is good for each other oftentimes.
Absolutely. And maybe surprising me of all people, but we don't need it. There's too
No.
many. Yeah.
Why?
Like, honestly, that's why I like follow everyone back, because there was no interaction past that. It's like, I can get kudos. There's no talking. There's no back and forth. Just support each other that way without having to talk to more people.
And you would be talking about surveys. You would think Strava had done some surveying and figured out that this was a need that they had. Like, how many of these people on Strava now don't actually use Instagram as well? And if that's the case, okay, there are definitely people who use Strava, and that's it. And that's their, and you can tell by the way they post their activities. It's their way. It's a funny title. It's a funny description. You can tell that is kind of their way to communicate. So yeah, that seems like few and far between, though. I mean, that's maybe 1% to 3% of the people I follow, and I see their posts. So to me, if I need to message somebody I don't already have access to, I'm not doing it through Strava. It seems weird. I sent one message just to try it to somebody who I talk to on a daily basis anyway. So it's like, here, I just wanted to be the first one. Doesn't actually work. But
yeah, there's too much. I was talking with someone today where the conversation one conversation started on Instagram from a story that I didn't see. They had replied there, and I had sent them a message on WhatsApp to ask them a question. And then they're answering on WhatsApp. I went on Instagram, answered on their Instagram. And it's like back and forth. It's no, we don't need it there. It's just no. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how people use it. I get the motivation, because at the end of the day, every app platform, their goal is to have you stay on the app more, which I don't know. I think it's just like the Zwift messaging and stuff. I don't use that either. It's just, there are so many other options. I just don't need another one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and people use Instagram for a reason. It's to share information, but at the same time, I mean, the other topic in triathlon and running and making money is how much more money influencers are making as opposed to the actual professional athletes themselves. And people are going to continue to use Instagram.
Some pro athletes who are actually influencers who aren't like racing near the top end at all. So it's definitely interesting. Yeah. Well, speaking of platforms and stuff, something I'm going to be working over the next little while is some live virtual cycling classes. I'm trying out a new platform to see if it could be something fun and engaging, and actually bring together a few platforms and see if people are interested in doing some workouts, chatting, seeing some metrics and some leaderboards. But there'll be lots more to come on that. Maybe I'm doing some beta testing with a bunch of people to see if I like it, if they like it. So if you are interested, I'll put a link in there if you want to apply to be a beta tester. Just want to give it a go and get some feedback, see what people like and don't like, or if it's just not something people want or I want. So we'll see.
So for everyone listening too, the cool part that attracted me to this, and I have to pass on doing it, but I wish I could, is if you're not a top of the leaderboard person on Zwift or some of these other programs, or you're not putting out the biggest watts per kilogram and you're not winning podium races and things like that, what this is going to do is who can abide by the rules in the training program the best and the most and the longest, and you've got a chance of winning. So if you're and around the way. I was like, that's exactly what I do. I just can't push the same level that somebody would at my age group. So it's a really cool opportunity if you've never had specific training to A, get in on that, and B, to see how well you can follow the program and hold the watts that you need to at certain levels and have fun with others while doing it and see the metrics right there. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it'll be some fun. You might get, well, I'll be yelling at you the whole time, but there's some music options in there. But yeah, that's exactly it, Josh. That's what got me intrigued too, was being able to prescribe certain, it's all based on your FTP and percentages of that with some range up and down. So you're not trying to stay at one number the entire time, because that would be absolutely mind numbing. But yeah, if you are interested to check it out, if you're open to giving me some feedback, all of the people who apply to be a beta tester, I'm actually going to do a draw for a monocycling jersey just to say thank you for taking the time. Whether you're picked or not, I sure appreciate it. So I will put some links in the show notes there if you guys do want to give this a go and do some recycling workouts. But let's jump into the last thing we got to talk about today. We have a race coming up this weekend with Ironman Bahrain 70.3. Going to be kind of the, I don't know if we have too many other big races with some decent names coming out here, but this one you always get a big following. And of course, you get the Bahrain 13 team out there, which includes a couple big names within the sport. So they all have yearly migration to Bahrain to shake hands and fulfill those sponsorship obligations. Yeah. But we have got, here are some of, let's start with the women this time, who we got going out to this race. We've got Kat Matthews, India Lee, Amelia Watkinson, Ellie Salthouse, Georgina Perrone, Caroline Pohl, Ruth Astle, a number of other names in there as well. And then, actually, let's start with the women here. Who do you guys got? Who do you think is going to go crush it in the deserts of Bahrain? Let's start with you, Fede.
Ooh, I am going to pick Kat Matthews. I think that course suits her very well. It's she's a very strong cyclist and an amazing runner. So she's going to be maybe a bit behind on the swim, but she can make up the time for on the bike and definitely on the run. And we know that Bahrain has been, I mean, it's a bit controversial because a lot of people say it's short and a lot of people say there's a lot of motor pacing. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Kat Matthews.
I could definitely see that in there. How about you, Josh? Who do you got for?
I'm going to stick with the same method I went with last week, and she ran her way up to third. So Ellie Salthouse has been racing, and she's still in shape, and she's, I think, at a very high level of fitness. So I'm going to go with Ellie.
Cool. I'm going to go with India Lee. See what she can pull out here on the weekend. Get it done over there in Bahrain. Okay, let's move over to the men's side. So some of the top names, or top numbers in here: Gregory Barnaby. Oh, I don't know how to say this. Kekper Stefaniak. That was so bad. Antonio Benito Lopez, Alistair Brownlee, Matthias Peterson, William Hirsch, Thor Bendix, Dylan Minion. Oh my goodness, I am butchering these names. But on the men's side, it's always hard to pass up Alistair Brownlee. It looks like he is coming back from injury, getting excited to be racing again. But I think I'm going to go with Martin Van Riel. Oh. He is hard to like 70.3. So now we know who Fede was going to go for. How about you, Josh? Who you got for Bahrain 70.3?
Let's go with Matthias.
Okay. Going after it there. How about you, Fede?
Well, let's see. I think, I'm going to go with Ali Brownlee. Yeah. Ali Brownlee. Yeah, he's going to run away from Martin Van Riel. And then that's what's going to happen.
See, this is the first time I haven't bet on him, so he's probably going to go in. So. It works.
It looks like a really cool course. especially if the weather's temperatures stay down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're saying average air temp 72 is like, that's not the Bahrain, I know, but I guess if you can get a good day this time of year, it'll be good. But with the sun out, it's but a bay swim, flat bike, and a flat run, they're going to be crushing that sub 4 hour mark.
What's not to like?
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, swim bikers definitely crush it, like you said, Fede, with some motor pacing there, I'll say. Really seems to be.
There were definitely some short gaps in Indian Wells, too, from some of the videos you saw, too. So, 12-meter line.
See, this way I like the hilly courses. Just breaks everything up more. The flat ones, people seem to push it a little bit, and I doubt they're using race ring at Bahrain 70.3.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough. Well, guys, was there anything else you wanted to chat about in the triathlon world here? We always go in and I think we're not going to have much to talk about. We end up chatting about everything, which is fun.
But there's always something
That's
to
what we do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, as always, thanks, guys, for joining me. Have a great night here, and we will be back next week.
Awesome.
Awesome. Have a good one.